Thank you very much. I am thankful to Dr. Banshi and all our colleagues. In 1 minute, I am sharing my slide. Yes. Uh, for giving me an opportunity in RSSDA to discuss about a very important clinical topic. Which has been well studied and accepted. It is a legacy effect in diabetes, which is a very common terminology we use it as we keep doing our work in any profession or business. As you work hard, you have a legacy effect. That is where something positive comes back to you after years also. Even in our own practice, it comes there. All of us know. Like that in diabetes, there is definitely a positive note in the future when you stiffly control the diabetic state in the early years, especially below the target of HbA1c 7. This is a slide from my good friend Dr. Mohan. This it makes us to realize the diabetic status in our country. There are about 84% of people, they have diabetic, but they don't know they have diabetes. They are labeled as non-diabetics. Only around 16% are diabetic. This is the data from Mohan from Chennai. Out of them, 33% only know that they are diabetics. 67% of them do not know that they are diagnosed or not. And there are, of this, 44% are on treatment and 56% not on treatment. And those who are treated, roughly about 29% have only a control, and uncontrolled is 71. See, only 20% of the people know they have diabetes. Out of them, 29% are only controlled diabetes. Therefore, it makes us to say that diabetes is a disease, a metabolic disease with vascular complication, but goes poorly controlled, which leads to a lot of things. Then what we should do to change? This is a BMC data, that is a 2005 data. This is to the 2019 data. Of these, 53% of the people are aware they are diabetics, 47% are not aware, of which 42% are only treated, 58% are not treated, out of which 25% are only controlled. Now today we say that there are about 77 million diabetic people in India, and these are the numbers that we see here. That shows most of the people have not been diagnosed to have diabetes. And even those people who know that they have diabetes, they have a poorly controlled diabetes. That is why this topic becomes very important and for the future. What we label as a legacy effect in diabetes is a long-term effects of a tight glucose management. There is a legacy effect describes the long-term health benefit that result from intensive blood glucose management in diabetes care compared to standard glucose control. And what is metabolic memory? Metabolic memory is again a term used to describe the beneficial effects of immediate intensive treatment of hyperglycemia, which can be maintained for many years. That is what we were talking now. See, this is a situation when there is a the diabetic status, the dysglycemia keeps on varying between 8 to 7, 7.5. When the glycemic control is 7, the risk for future vascular complication risk seems to be very low. See, why we are bothered? Diabetes has, as Professor Moses used to say, two components. One is metabolic, another is vascular. Metabolic is clinically challenging but solvable easily, quickly. Whereas vascular, it is a highly highly challenging situation and takes care of the life of the patient by increasing the mortality and morbidity. Therefore, this legacy effect is given a lot of importance. The therapeutic inertia and the legacy of dysglycemia over microvascular and macrovascular. The diabetes, when it is T2DM, decline in the beta cell functions keeps on coming as years keep moving. The hyperglycemic burden is associated with longer term microvascular and macrovascular complications, which is a known fact. And this metabolic karma or the atherogenic legacy of diabetes. I mean, in 2017, this Edwin Bierman Award lecture, I mean, it was stated that the role of oxidative stress and advanced glycation products, AGE, are identified as potential targets for vasoprotective therapies in the setting of diabetes. There are very number of studies like our UKPDS study, and then this pre-Terox and diamicron MR controlled evaluation, advanced study, and epidemic, the DCCT and EDSA. All of them say, in addition, for this metabolic memory, there is an epigenetic pathway. In addition, the oxidative pathway, epigenetic pathway is also active and causes glucose-induced histone methylation that plays a very key central role. I mean, in the legacy effect, as per the DCCT trial, when the HbA1c target was kept at 7.2, it showed a great legacy effect, 63% reduced risk of diabetes-related retinopathy after 5 years, 54% reduced risk of kidney disease after 5 years, 60% reduced risk of neuropathy and nerve damage, and 30% reduced risk of cardiovascular events after 20 years. The risk of complication increased with higher level of A1C. Herein there are some of the findings from the glucose study. During the trial, I mean, when the control of A1C was 7.9, whereas in the intensive group it was 7. In the 7.9 group, the differences in the vascular effect were very much. And there are 12% reduction in any diabetic related endpoint. Maybe, hyperglycemia, hypoglycemia, myocardial infarction, and microvascular complications, including kidney and eye. When there is a stiff control of, A1C around 7, the vascular component, especially microvascular component, is very much safeguarded. And 21% reduction in the risk for diabetes-related retinopathy, 33% risk reduction in kidney disease. It is called as a glucose legacy effect. In short, all of us know when there is a tight control of blood glucose in the early years, how you do that, we will come to it. When it is 7, and that carries this control, protects the vascular system for the years to come, even if there are little ups and downs. There is a, trial called the doping prevention trial that also confirms. The look ahead trial in the diabetic, reversal group also says that when there is a stiff control, the vascular complications are reduced. Our popular UKPDS study, what does it show? That is sustained benefit with respect to cardiovascular disease outcome seems long after the conclusion of the trial. What is a diabetic effect? That is, diabetic effect always causes damage to the large and smaller vessels. The good news is this diabetic effect can be reduced by adequate control of the blood sugar in the early years. And again, the long-term observational follow-up of this trial revealed that there is early glycemic control has durable effects. Even after 10 years, we are able to evaluate it. As per the result goes, when the HbA1c levels are 6.5, the microvascular and macrovascular even are reduced. When it is to 7 to 8, the microvascular may be there, but macrovascular does not go. Conclusions are, among patients with newly diagnosed diabetes and 10 years of survival, HbA1c levels 6.5 for the first year after diagnosis was associated with worst outcomes. Immediately, intensive treatment for newly diagnosed diabetic patient is necessary to avoid irremediable long-term risk of diabetic complications. This is the legacy effect following our UKPDS and ACCORD trial. All of them say the first large clinical trial to compare the cardiovascular effects of statins and placebo, an inactive pill, to combination therapy of statin, and that did not have any legacy effect. There is a statin effect on the vascular complication. This is the system or the mechanism of this metabolic memory. There is hyperglycemia, which goes to an oxidative stress, intracellular, and decrease in the nitrous oxide bioavailability, oxidative stress, and it causes the chronic vascular complications. And here, advanced glycation end product also comes there, and oxidative stress is there. Two mechanisms are causing an oxidative stress. These are the summary of the few, trials. All of them say when there is an adequate control of blood glucose, there is a safety or a legacy effect on the vascular system. This is the ACCORD trial. The treatment after primary outcome. Intensive group has, very good safety of their vascular system. And this intensive group, in DCCT also has a good control of the vascular, long-term vascular complications. And the cumulative incidence of the first any predefined CVD outcome is also available. And intensive treatment, when there is a, good glycemic control, the vascular long-term complications are very much reduced. This is again our, when there is an hypoglycemic effect due to insulin or sulfonylurea, you are able to get a good reduction of the vascular complications. And therefore, for microvascular disease prevention, the A1C goal for non-pregnant adults in general should be kept as 7, because only then you have, good clinical outcomes in the long run. And when there is a, there are certain people in whom the 7 cannot be adhered to, especially people having a hypoglycemia with a limited life expectancy, already having vascular complication. In those people, little relaxation of the guidelines can be there. This is again the mechanism. High glucose level goes to intracellular oxidation, superoxide, and damages the mitochondrial membrane and cells, which cause the vascular component. This is about DCCT trial. Advanced glycation end products are there, which has been recorded in the skin biopsy of these people. Significantly, it lowers the intensive arm. Also, significant reduction in the advanced glycation end products. This is the vicious circle, as we said. There is hyperglycemia, intracellular, ROS, and it goes to endothelial damage and causes vascular reaction. The legacy effects, again, the pathophysiology is overproduction of superoxide anion continues even after the blood glucose levels normalize. Possibly, that is explaining the lasting legacy effects seen after the diabetic state is under control. Continued production of the superoxide may be one of the factors. There is again another algorithm, that is hyperglycemia. It is focusing on epigenetic modifications and intracellular superoxide, and goes to a formation of an inflammation. A low-grade inflammation continues in these people. And this effect can be due even when you control the blood sugar with the metformin. This is what this study, proves. There is a recent study here, that shows a reduced all-cause mortality in intensive treatment group after 25 years reveals legacy effect even in T1DM. Even in T1DM, when there is a stiff control right from the beginning, the vascular complications are very much less. This is a recent study which has come out. Now, these are the summary and conclusions of the various, studies and how to prevent the CVD in diabetes. The glycemic control has to be at 6 to 7, and microvascular complications are definitely reduced. Macrovascular takes longer time. Some of the trial they were not able to demonstrate. BP control has no legacy effect, because when I'll also come to it little later, when there is diabetes and hypertension, you may control diabetes, but the ill effect of hypertension may continue and damage the vascular endothelium. That has to be, we need to be, very careful. Therefore, a combined intensive blood pressure and blood glucose control versus standard blood pressure and blood glucose control reduced CV mortality and all-cause mortality consistent with the imperative multifocal approach. This is again a metabolic memory in cardiovascular disease. When we talk about, vascular disease, we are concerned about cardiovascular system, cardiac and vascular, either in the, cerebral or in the peripheral. And again, this oxidative stress is the cause for it, and that can definitely have the legacy effect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, hyperglycemia can also promote the formation of AGEs independent of superoxide anions, and due to a histone modification, DNA methylation, RNA alteration, all can also form AGE formation, which has been proved in DCCT trial by taking a biopsy from the skin, which showed the, AGE. And one word about the hypertension. When there is a hypertension in diabetic study, there is a study 10 years after the original study. The patient with hypertension diabetes study were not actually newly diagnosed. When there is a hypertension, when that hypertension is adequately controlled, and if you don't continue the treatment, legacy effect is not there. Whereas in diabetes, when you have made a stiff control in the early stages, and even if there are some ups and downs, the vascular protective effect continues. Whereas in hypertension, it does not continue. You see, then the absence of a BP legacy are only a time-to-time effect relationship BP and the CV outline. Then if you have a patient who has got diabetes and plus this, you will have to control diabetes adequately, and you will have to control blood pressure also adequately within the guidelines, and this control should be continued for long term. Otherwise, it will definitely damage the vascular endothelium. This has been proved in a value trial and HEART trial, and all these benefits of hypertension therapy and major outcomes usually appear shortly after the treatment implementation. Therefore, when there is a combined disease for both the people, you will have to be very, very careful. But when both are under control, definitely there is a significant reduction in the myocardial infarction by 22%, stroke by 33%, CV death by 37%. Therefore, adequate control of both is essential here. These are the conclusions. Rather than focus on the possible lack of BP legacy, the interpretation should emphasize the questionable finding that CV protection is more likely to be effectively achieved if tight blood pressure control is also implemented early and sustained over time. This is what I have been saying. It has to be sustained. Now, conclusions, ladies and gentlemen. Early intensive treatment of new onset diabetes is aimed at tight glucose control, reduces the risk of microvascular complication and probably macrovascular as well. The metabolic memory and legacy effect are terms that have been used to describe the fact that glucose control early in the natural history of diabetes profoundly influences the prognosis later in life. And for this, an early use of insulin is very much necessary. When to use it, how to use it, always needs to have a clinician decision and patient education also. Thank you all. The message I would like to convey is early, stiff control of blood glucose at 7 HbA1c has a protective effect on the vascular system. Let us do that. Thank you very much.